Scored the most goals last season. 35, 36, 37 I think it was, yeah. Which is an incredible number, never done before. And of course he's gone into his second season now. Second season, we talk about second season syndrome. Second season is always more difficult because everybody knows about you. And especially in the case with someone like Haaland, a lot of the managers, defenders, they will be thinking about how to deal with him. So obviously it's something that we're going to look for the season that comes. Is he going to be as good? Or maybe even better? Don't know. It's Haaland and he's really, really special. Of course, personally I'm quite interested to see how our new signing, Højlund, is doing. This is a young fella who, he's not like Haaland, but there are similarities in terms of, you know, the pace and the strength, and also the mentality. He's a little bit younger, and he has unlimited potential as far as I'm concerned. But one thing is to be a prospect, another thing is, of course, to go and do it for Manchester United. It's a lot of pressure, and hopefully he will be coached well. Hopefully he will be given time, and I think if those two things apply, I think Manchester United bought a very, very good striker, and someone who could score a lot of goals. Absolutely, yeah. Everyone has to give instructions. You know, it's so the newer generations are they're not so naturally born leaders. The newer generations have grown up with a lot of things been done for them. You know, it's I'm just saying this is just reality. So once it comes to, you know, the top end of football, you're kind of screaming for leaders. And if you look across football at the moment, you don't see many sort of outright leaders. You know, you think, wow, these guys. You look at the team that I played in, you know, you couldn't see anybody not a leader. You know, all of them were leaders. And that's kind of sift out of football a little bit. So to have somebody who speaks from the very, very back is important. Because he sees the whole picture. And I think it's important that directions are being given. Because the most important job for a goalkeeper is to prevent. So prevent a goal from happening, but prevent chances from happening. And you can do that by saying, hey, this guy's free, or, you know, you're too far up, you do that. And it's important he does that. And it's part of the reason he's at Manchester United, because he is a natural leader. Of course, his whole ability to play with his feet is very, very important to the style of play that Eriksson wants to put into the team. So, I mean, I followed him a lot, especially last season in the Champions League, and I was very impressed with him. I think he's done really, really well. Well, he's done really, really well with Ajax and Inter, not with Manchester United yet. So it's a big question mark, and I really hope that what we've seen, that he can do that for Manchester United. But he looks a very confident lad, so I don't see why not. So hopefully he will do that. I'm not gonna answer the first bit. It's a bit silly.
You don't want to put your...
No, but you can't. I mean, you can't compare over years. I'm not surprised that the evolution of the position is what it is now, and it's actually evolving even more. If you saw, for instance, Brighton last season in the FA Cup, that's where they were most prominent. But of course also in the Premier League. But so the manager changed the goalkeeper because Steele is a better player with his feet, and the way that he wants the ball or the play to start is that Steele has the ball and he's waiting to someone who's very, very close, maybe half a meter, and then he passes the ball. And the idea is to get the other players as far up your end as possible to create pockets of space in behind. And sometimes with 2-3 passes you can actually make a really big move, rather than bring the ball into the half and then try to break down 10 players. So that's the idea about it, and that's not going to get less. That would evolve into even more, and I think we'll see less and less goalkeepers just kicking the ball out. So I'm not surprised. I think it's a fantastic addition to the game. It makes the game more interesting, and of course it puts a lot of extra requirements on the goalkeeping position. But I think so far goalkeeper is doing quite well with that. It's very, very sad. There are a lot of good things about social media. I think the whole idea from the beginning was that people were supposed to connect and be friends. Unfortunately, there are always a couple of idiots who ruins that. About Harry Maguire, I followed Harry Maguire when he was at Leicester. Harry Maguire is a fantastic player. I did my pro licensing badge just before the World Cup in Russia, and one of the assignments we had to do was to pick the England squad. This is like 6 months before the World Cup. Pick the England squad and pick the starting lineup against Tunisia. And of course I had Harry Maguire in there, and I had him in the starting lineup. And of the whole group there, I was the only one who had him in the squad. And I even had him in the starting lineup. And I said, this guy is fantastic. And there was a bit of question, and this is when he was at Leicester, by the way. We got to the World Cup and Harry Maguire played every game and arguably was the best England player in the World Cup. And don't forget, they got knocked out in the semi-final, so they went a long way. And of course, having watched him so closely, I've also spoken to Man United and said, listen, you've got to keep an eye on this guy. And they ended up signing him. So he had a very, very bad summer holiday in Greece. He got arrested for something that he wasn't supposed to be arrested for. And he, probably the most unlucky time he could be in that situation, because the club at the time were not in any state to protect him. And he came straight in the team, made a couple of mistakes, and then everybody turned. I will claim that Harry is a fantastic player, and I would be very sad to see him leave, but I also, that's difficult for me to see him with a future there, because, as you said, social media. It doesn't take many to create an atmosphere. It takes 5 people to write some crap, and then that's, people on social media. The media will then report, people on social media say this and that, and it's a bit sad, but it's also reality. It's reality, and players, they have to, as much as they use social media themselves for their advantage, they also have to deal with the other side of it. And I'm just so happy I played in a time where we didn't have social media.